So, welcome everyone. Today we're going to do a little preview with this little EFG's team here about the Parashar Conference, 2025 Parashar Conference that's coming up. So, we have beautiful Jane Ann here. She's going to be talking about Shani, very similar talk as she did last year with Rahu. Um, I am going to be leaping off her subject matter and go into some technical aspects of Shani karma and how it's playing out in the charts. And we're going to look at some examples. And Yuji is going to grace us and talk to us about whatever she wants to talk about because we listen. And but before we get started, Shanati is going to briefly tell us a little bit about the conference and the details of it. Shanati?
Thank you, Nandita. Good here to be with you, Jane Ann and Eve G. So this is the fourth annual Maharishi Parashara Conference, and we're the most well-attended North American Jyotish conference. We have 34 faculty members from 11 different countries and 5 different continents. And the theme of the conference this year is Dispelling Fear. This is an inspiration from Dr. Harness and I's therapeutic application of Jyotish, where we're trying to take things that people are typically fear-based around and shed some light on it. And I feel there's no better team here than Eve Nandita and Jane Ann to kind of dispel some fear around certain topics. And I'm really excited. So again, we're parasharaconference.com. We're November 20th to the 24th. It's all virtual, hosted on Zoom. And we hope you'll join us. And so I'm here just to kind of hang out and get a little bit of a taste of everyone's lecture that they're going to be doing this year. And I'm really, really excited to have Eve G back this year after her little hiatus. So thanks again for coming on back to Parashar. We're happy to have you.
Honored,
Great.
honored to be here. Thank you.
So, Jane Ann, we're going to start with you.
Sure.
Yeah, so Shanti, does everybody have permission to present? Okay, great. So you can take over.
Beautiful. Lovely. So let me know when you can see it.
We could see
Looks
it.
good.
Beautiful. Okay, so here we go. Opening the gate, opening the doorway here with Shani in our effort to offer him some dignity, to take him out of that space of fear and into this deep, noble inner stillness that he can offer each of us. And one of the titles that's really come forward is this place as his role as the great stabilizer in our lives, the offerer of a deeper peace. And what I'd like to do is using the format that I used in last year's session and coming from my own entry point and background with the deep honor and pleasure of being introduced to the shamanic side of nature, first through my gifts and then through formal training. The worlds of nature that Shani inhabits speak really loudly to me, and I'm really excited to share that kind of point of connectivity that we're all sharing, this point of sharing biochemistry with the natural world and the way that that can speak to us in such an intimate way. So, what I'd love to do is just walk through some of the introductory points. And I've given you this beautiful image of Mama Vulture here with his one of his original Vahanas. And I'm just going to make a few introductory points here with Shani's role as the guardian of Vayu, as the guardian of the breath of life, the wind of the god, and the doorway to the inner sanctum that offers us through yogic practices. I also really see him coming in as a vivid dispeller of the illusion of peace coming from the outside world. And really, he brings us deeply home to that inner sanctum, to the true foundation of our lives, the true point of stability in our lives coming from our inner world. And I think of the power of that in-breath really taking us there. So we'll see that and explore that quite a bit when I get to the avatar of Shani, and we go deeply with Kurma and the great turtle. And that's role and that deeper role in stabilizing our relationship to the terrestrial world and to the wisdom living there. I also have a little bit here on the wisdom of time, maturity, healthy detachment, that point that allows us to create a little bit of distance from our emotional triggers. And this is something that's just one of the deepest joys. I know Nandita will be touching on this in her lecture when we talk about Shani's role, his nakshatras sitting in the heart of all of the water signs and all of the moksha rashis. So we've got this very, very interesting relationship here that I'm excited to explore through the animals as well. I have another point, the futility of that which is fleeting. So Shani offering us a connection to substance over just the temporal world, a kind of deeper substance is something that I think his animals also illustrate really beautifully. And of course, much like my Rahu lecture, I'll be talking about the way that Shani illumines temporal versus spiritual truths and how that can guide us deeper into a form of stabilization in our path that is often overlooked because we think of Shani as a someone who blocks us or inhibits us classically. But oftentimes, especially through the wisdom of his animals, you can see that what might appear as a block is in fact a deeper opening, a deeper doorway, a deeper invitation. So this is something, these are just some early illustrative points here that I wanted to mention. And then, of course, the classic representation from last year. This year, I'll be applying to Shani's avatar in the form of Kurma, and a beautiful deep exploration of the turtle. And of course, even more of an honor to be living here on what the ancients called Turtle Island. They called North America Turtle Island, and I'll be talking about that as well. So this deep relationship again to the land, to coming into balance in our lives, beauty as balance in our lives, and Kurma, the great turtle, being a beautiful, beautiful example of that. I'll also be exploring one of his earliest and often overlooked vahanas, his vehicle of the donkey, which I'm really excited to illumine because he doesn't get a lot of press. So you'll often see older murti of Shani on the donkey, but he's not really, it's interesting how we tend to overlook a lot of the domesticated animals. So I want to bring that up as well. So we'll be honoring the donkey and going deep with him. And then I'll be exploring each of the yonis of his nakshatras that he activates in Vimshottri Dasha and the Kali Yuga, which of course would be the goat for Pusha. And I'll be exploring the hare, the rabbit for Anuradha, and then the female cow, wow, for Uttarabhadrapada. So, all of these beings really anchoring us into a much deeper exploration of some connections that you might not normally make about Shani that can give us a direct connection, a sense of intimacy that is really not always available when we're so filled with our fears and our desires and our readiness to know what Shani will bring us. I think that this opportunity, this topic allows us to get to know him, to bond with him directly from the seat of his own intelligence, and let that offer a little bit of peace in our journey with him. So this will be really the anchor point of my lecture. And we may have mentioned a few of these little details earlier, but I've just included a slide here to let you guys know what day I'll be presenting. That's going to be Monday, November 24th at 10 a.m. Central. And I have a little code for Kurma. And my lecture will really just kind of open these concepts and lay the stage for Nandita to come in with some really beautiful technical points as well. And here I have just a little thing about where to reach me, and a beautiful image of Kurma here as well. If there are any questions or touch points that you want to visit here with the, like while I have all of this open, I'm happy to go a little bit deeper too, but I just wanted to give you a taste.
Thank you, Jane Ann. That was beautiful. And as usual, beautiful slides. I love them. They're just incredible. Your eye for detail and oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I will be going right after Jane Ann on that Monday, and I'm going to kind of take what she's established with Kurma Avatar, and I'll just put up my slide, which is very simple. Um, so I will be just going deep into the technical aspects of what she's pointing out about the Kurma Avatar. We really want to understand Shani and how he's really actually truly functioning. So my points, my points are just very technical. We will be talking about Shani's nakshatras from the perspective of Vimshodri Dasha. Okay, so those would be Pushya, Anuradha, and Uttarabhadrapada. And we want to know, all the important factors of these nakshatras. The fact that they're in the heart of water rashis, moksha trine. What does that mean? The stabilization that Jainan spoke about, what is it trying to stabilize? Where does it fall in the Kala Purush? Do we really understand what Shani is actually trying to do? Because once we understand what Shani is trying to do, I think the mystery and the fear of Shani really goes away. He's really not a foe, he's a friend. As I always tell my students, that if you're running around with scissors in your hands, Shani's going to stop you right in the spot. He's trying to make you live longer. He's Ayush Karka. So, this blaming of Shani, it doesn't make sense. So instead of all of us trying to change your mind, my job is to just say, you know what? Stop arguing and just show them. Show them. Not gonna, no, just gonna show them. Look what it's doing in the chart. So we're going to talk a little bit briefly about the Babas it rules, the Rashis, the element that it's sitting in, and then Trimurti functionality in the Navamsha. What is it trying to really, where does it fit? It's in Vishnu Trimurti, which tends to extend things. It's preserving things. Yes, Ayush Karka, he's preserving your life, guys. It's very logical. I don't know where we get it confused. So key themes. We're going to go over key themes of Shani, the Graha itself, and the nakshatras, the phala of the nakshatra. Okay. I only have an hour, so we can't really do a lot. I'm trying to jam a lot of things in here, but it enough for you to think, enough for you to say, wait, maybe what I'm saying is not correct about Shani. Because we're going to look at examples of what Shani, prominent Shani placements and lives of people and how it's playing out. Okay. One of the most important thing you're going to see about Shani is that he is totally opposite of what we think. We think Shani's old and humdrum and all this, but you'll see these colorful people, vibrant people, successful people, comedians, entertainment, beautiful people having prominent Shani. And you're like, wait, that's totally contradiction. Yes, it's a contradiction because we have Shani in our mind incorrect. So lots of examples to show that. And then, of course, while I'm showing the examples, I will be using Evji's technique of nakshatra technique, which she's taught us. So there'll be a little bit of showcasing, obviously. I'll go a little slow in a couple of examples. So for those of you who are interested in picking up those steps, you'll be able to see that as well. So in an hour, I will attempt to do this, but I will be just knee deep in all things Shani through examples. So hope that helps. And I have a little code here. So it's Monday, right after Jane Ann's presentation. Mine's at 11:30. And promo code, I made it Shani108. And so I hope to see you guys there. Thank you. And now, Evji,
Can everyone see my desktop, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, Shanati, if you'll allow me, these students, I'm just, both of you are becoming such an individuated voice in Jyotish through your own understanding while taking the concepts that I've shown you, but you're making it your own, and I can see it. And the reverence that you're having for Jyotish, I mean, Shanati, honestly, if my students would outshine me and take over for me, that's what I would prefer. And I have that hope because the brilliance I see coming from them is actually outshining my own in many ways. And their ability to teach and present. So for me, Jyotish has been a devotion I never expected to teach. And this is where I'm going to start on what I'm going to be talking about at the conference. And before I start showing you what I'm going to be talking about, I want to thank Shanati and Dennis for allowing us to finally have the discussion of the harm we could be doing in how we communicate our understanding of Jyotish and how we're presenting the grahas and how we're presenting this ancient vidya, how out of context it's been taken. I mean, I've been thoroughly misunderstood because I've been a bit passionate. And maybe I've said some wrong things too. And I'm going to be putting myself on the chopping block actually at the conference. And I really encourage students who are giving readings, actively giving readings, and who are actively considering teaching, please come. Guys, this is not for some marketing strategy. No, I am saying this might be one of the most important things that you witness is that someone giving readings for years willing to talk about serious mistakes and serious failures. And I was needing that myself. That was the kind of nutrition I was needing from my elders in the community. And I want to encourage more of the elders to give this nutrition to their students, how you have failed. Because that failure is the biggest teacher. Speaking of Shani Dev, I do have Vaman Avatar here. I had Korma up earlier, interestingly. But the only place for him to put his head was on the foot was on the head of the king who had transgressed his limitations.
Mm.
He had crossed his boundary. He was great. This is the issue. He was great. This king in the story of Vaman Avatar was great in every way. He was even a noble king. But because of that nobility, he felt he could take over Swargaloka, Indra. He felt he could take over Agni's place, Vayu's place, take over every kingdom of the world. And Guru Shukracharya was ready to help him with that. This is the tricky side of Shukra, Venus, was ready to help him with that. That means there's nothing left for anyone else. And that kind of pride, that kind of consumerism, that kind of unwillingness to realize that Vayu needs to be in his place, Agni needs to be, do not displace anyone else. So, anyway, this is my bowing to Vaman, and he can push me into the underworld. I'm happy. As a matter of fact, I've been recently certified as a death doula, guys. And so I'm very serious about wanting my students to shine. And I just want to encourage all of you to listen and help them because this is the new part of their journey. No one's going to be perfect. Everyone's going to make mistakes. And I think one of the most important things is the forgiveness for that and the listening to each other and having a broader view of what this Shastra is. Okay, so let me just show you something of what I'm going to be sharing. So my topic, if you go to the website, is going to be on the dangers of chart misinterpretation, the importance of words, and the dangers of psychological or personality-based Jyotish in general. I don't know what's going on in Jyotish, but we just need to be careful because actually that's a tool. Jyotish is a wonderful healing tool for our psychology. I don't debate that whatsoever. In the right hands, it can highlight a lot of the shadow side of but you got this birth based on your prarabdha karmas. So we have the big storehouse of sanchita karmas, like an ocean of karmas, and we get this little tiny portion in one body with limited heartbeats, limited number of breaths. We come into this body and we're spending this much of the karma. If you understand what that means, your chart is not you. It is a limited, mortal, very finite portion of your sanchita karmas. So I just want you to first start from there before I show you what I'm going to show you, because this becomes dangerous. If a Jyotishi can really see your karmas, okay, that means they're a sant. That means they're a sant, an actual saint. But if we are not an actual bodhisattva or sant, we need to pull the reins and realize that this humility that Shani's trying to get us to have, trying to get us to slow down, see ourselves as we really are. You know, people who are quick to jump to passion, be careful with those people. Not people that are passionate about something. We're all passionate about something, but I'm saying people who are quick to accuse you, to do all these things. Just be careful with that quickness of the passion. That lets you know maybe the person's relationship with Shani is suffering, actually. Okay, Shani is very, actually, one of the karakas of forgiveness and humility and even rest. One of the biggest karakas of Shani is rest. Most of us aren't even rested enough with this hustle and bustle in the world and the hyper rajas to have a clear mind to judge people properly or what they're even saying or we have to slow down. Okay, so just going to have you look at something up, and I'm going to illumine some things I have really made mistakes with students and with readings. So I just want everyone to take in this chart. Anyone who knows Jyotish, what is the first thing a Jyotishi is going to say they are going to be scared of that eighth house. They are going to think this person is mentally unstable because Shani and Rahu conjuncts the moon in the eighth. Marna Karakastan, all of these things. This is the first assumption that's going to happen. Debilitated Mars. There's no Parivartan to help that Mars. That Mars is even losing directional strength. Yeah, the Ucha Venus, but it's also losing directional strength and it's not even in the right nakshatra. There's some Ucha planets, but overall, I know what people will say about this. How many Jyotishis have you heard say, oh, Vish Yoga? Oh, Shani conjunct moon, right? Oh, damaged psychology, is it? Does anyone know the Korma Puran? Do homework. Korma Puran has Ishwar Gita. Ishwar Gita, for the Shaiva tradition, is a lot of things similar to Patanjali sutras. So Shani is the great yogi. He's the controller of the pranas. Rahu is also a great yogi. He's a great tapasvi. So 8th house might be a place of siddhis. We have a sant. We have an actual saint. Mula. Ooh, be scared. You know, I'm saying, guys, can we debunk this? Can we once and for all look at the truth? I'm going to show you so many charts, you're going to be tired of charts by the time we get through. So the next time someone tells you that you have a moon Rahu conjunction or Shani moon conjunction or any of these negative yogas and your life is thrashed because of it, please go sleep well. Please know that they may be in kindergarten. They haven't seen enough charts, or they haven't been observing the charts. They maybe are only reading books. Because the books, actually, the recent Jyotish classics that we have available to us are very different than the Upanishad culture of ancient India. And so you have, if you're not well read in the Purans, and some of these Purans are 95 volumes. So to say you've read Vishnu Puran is it's almost crazy. To say, I mean, it's like it's it is such there is such a ocean of knowledge out there. And Jyotish Shastra is treated differently in all of the ancient sources than it is in any of these, like Paladipaka or any of these more Brihat Jataka. Even Parashar, Brihat Orashastra has been rewritten 6 times at least. And it has, so this is where we have to be so careful, and we have to almost go back to the drawing board with observation. So I know what most Jyotishis is going to say to this person. And then there may be some clever person in the room that says, oh, but it's canceled because of this or that. They go all in gymnastics every which way. But really speaking, if you hear them another day, that same person will say, oh, they have bipolar disorder because they have a moon Rahu conjunction. I'm not the type to, I don't want to be right. I want the truth. I'm never right. I've, I've tripped on my own mistakes more than I mean, it's almost a clown show, what I'm going to tell you. My life has been a clown show in many ways. You know, the best thing I ever did was put my head down. It's like, it's like the times I've had humility have been the best. It's like anytime I've asserted anything, it's just a clown show for me. So I really have direct experience with these kinds of failures. And, you know, if you look at charts like this, it doesn't look as intimidating as that other chart, does it?
Hmm.
What do you think this person is? What do you think they do? They were charged with religious fraud. So someone's going to say, oh, it's the 12th house. But this guy had a planet in the 12th house. Or someone's going to come up with something clever about this, why this person did financial fraud. And it's going to be a malefic thing. And it's going to be, I can predict it already. It's going to be this whole thing with the 8th and 12th and this and that. I mean, this is stuff I've heard over the years. Or it's going to be some rare thing someone's never heard of that's in this random book. Okay, but no, let's go to basics. This is a moon Jupiter conjunction. The other one is a moon in Marna Karkastan with Saturn and Rahu. This one is a moon Jupiter conjunction, and the moon is exalted, is Ucha. And it's in a Kendra. This was a case of fraud. Now, here we're going to go into something interesting during my talk, which is how positive conjunctions often let criminals get away. So it actually gives them merit or some kind of punya to dodge punishment in this life, but it does not make their character good. The Rahu actually got this person arrested and nearly convicted. It was, you know, it was that one of the first cases dealing with you know, like religious, send us donations. Look, Moon Jupiter, send us donations in Taurus. Okay, you got me? Okay. So this is the kind of thing we're going to look at extensively, because it may be that the Kundali or the chart does not show the guna functioning in the consciousness. The gunas of the grahas may be used in a different way. So yes, the grahas are assigned gunas, like Jupiter is sattva, but this person deceived people with the image of sattva. So their consciousness was not at the level of sattva. Therefore, they weaponized the virtue of Jupiter. Their consciousness was at a rajas, tamas level. And so the question is, are you so superior that you can judge the consciousness of an individual off of their chart? And you're going to have to make you're going to have to make a call in your conscience, because the problems that can happen from this, such as a bride entering a new home in some rural areas of India. If she has inauspicious conjunctions, the minute the Jyotishi says this is inauspicious, she has this karma, she could meet a very bad fate in that house. Meanwhile, the groom is having a very beautiful so-called chart, and he's really the abuser. This is an actual situation I've seen. This is an actual situation I've seen. Is the one with the positive chart gets away with more. And the one with the chart like this may get away with less, and therefore it is more likely to produce a sant. The consequence may come quicker because these are krura grahas that let you have a conscience. Many times krura grahas do give you a strong conscience. But once again, we can't judge that unless you are Bhagwan yourself. Unless you are Sri Krishna and you live in the hearts of everyone and you're aware of that. How do you know the problems you may be creating for someone in their life by speaking something that you may not know? So this might not be the most rainbow colored talk, but you're going to leave feeling that, especially if you're scared of your own chart, if you're scared of things that people have said to you, if you feel fears around certain things. I can give you that handshake and that guarantee that by the time you leave, you're going to be seeing things very differently. I have so many of these examples. That's it.
Thank you, Evgie. So looking forward to that. So Shanti, would you like to wrap it up with closing just details about
Sure,
the
yeah. I'm so excited for everyone who gave us a little taste of their lecture. It's exactly what I had in mind when I presented the theme this year. Both demystifying and shining light on Shani as well as Eve, chart misinterpretation and the dangers of psychological profiling in Jyotish. Um, yeah, I was feeling a little emotional too, just because this moment it's exactly what when I think about the conferences and the future of Jyotish and just yeah, I feel like this is a really big year for the conference and dispelling fear. And thank you for all being pioneers of this vision of cleaning up the unethical, the immoral side of Jyotish. Um, yeah, so we're parasharaconference.com, November 20th to the 24th, hosted on Zoom. And there were some codes thrown into this lecture, which will preview, which will get you over 10% off. And yeah, come join us. So thanks again, Nandita, for hosting this little preview, and looking forward to seeing all of you in about 3 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shanti. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.